Hey guys, welcome back to one that we're bringing out of the grave, out of the archives. What we're here to do is go into the history of Keepspace, and this is the year of 2017 to 2018. So just to let you know, for those who are in the northern hemisphere of the world, Australia runs financial years from the 1st of July to the 30th of June. When I say any financial year, I'm always talking about the beginning of the financial year, never the end. So 2017, we're going to talk about this one. Let's get into it. In this financial year is the start of something brand new. So we are now a picking and packing business, and we're starting this off. We're running with the business BlackRoll with Chris Hepler. It's going really good. We're about 4 months in. And we're going to try now and see if we can turn this into more than just a one-hit business wonder. When you start a new business, we hadn't made it yet, and so the logo, I made it myself. I didn't want to spend a couple $1,000s on a fucking logo because that's such a waste of money. It's so stupid. And so we start to get pretty serious, and I go out and see other groups. I go start seeing the Shopify communities, Amazon groups, eBay groups, WooCommerce communities, e-commerce groups. I was a part of the Morning Startup community, fantastic group of people. And that group gave us a platform for us to communicate and express. And the way we did it was we shared about some exercises we were going through and some practices of our management arrangements, some investment structures, which didn't really work out. And we presented that on the back of presenting the company that we had, which was Keepspace, and that gave us some traction. Me and Vin, that was it. It was just two of us. Just to add context, I was working part-time for another business called Bentech. Good business, really good guys. 3 days a week for them, 2 days a week in Keepspace. And in that process, it asked me to come full-time, and I declined. So in December 2017, they said, look, we're gonna let you go. That was a little scary. I thought maybe we should raise some money. I'll explain what we're doing, say that we're a fulfillment business, because all the people that I had come to know and respect in the Morning Startup community consistently spoke about raising money. And so I thought, why not? So we started talking to Perth Angels group, started talking to the Plus 8 group. That's Greg Rebe, Tim Brewer, and Tracy Clark in Perth. In all those conversations that we were having, they were always talking about what's going to be your valuation, how much you're planning to raise, exit strategy. And at this time, I'll be honest, we didn't have really much of that. And what was really trendy at the time was SaaS companies, cryptocurrencies. If we had a SaaS company or a cryptocurrency instead of a warehouse facility with products inside that was for e-commerce people, we would have probably raised the cash. But because we're a physical estate, we're physical products, we were not the flavor of the month, we were not the cookies and cream, we were the vanilla slice on the side. No one wanted to have a bit of it. So that was fine. We took our bat and ball and went back to work and just kept building it up. And that fired me up so much to just say, right, they just didn't want to put their money in it with us because they wanted to put it in with something that would give them a faster return and a business that they could technically turn around and burn it. That sounds so bad. That sounds so bad. So if you're this far into the video, and clearly this has got your interest, so let me tell you about the takeaways about this financial year. Looking back at it, once you find something that you think that's actually making a little bit of money and you feel that there is momentum behind it, dig in and do the work to make it happen. And putting in that work and that effort can really make things come to life. And that is probably something that a lot of us can hold back because we get a little scared, a little nervous, we make a little bit and think that's kind of it. But no, if you really push in and like really sculpture and build more and more and put the effort in, the fruit starts to show. They won't be massive fruits, but you will start to get progression. And that is what this year really brought. Hey guys, my name is Jesse, the founder of Keepspace, and I'm here to make this short video to let you know that our business model was focused around helping people who have e-commerce websites. So yeah, we're out there. We're talking to different community groups. We're doing the hustle and trying to catch up with anyone who is doing e-commerce or talking about website development and just saying, hi, we're Keyspace, just started, looking to see if we could help out. We didn't have a lot of money putting it into ads, so we just put a tiny little bit into Google Ads back then. We also tried a couple of Facebook posts, LinkedIn posts, and just did a lot of basic content. So we had to do a little fake it till you make it. So when they came in to inspect our facility, I wanted them to know that we do have space. It's full, there's other people here, we're not alone. And so what I did was the boxes from Koala Box, I would put them in there as the vacancy slots that people could use to put their goods inside. And it worked like a charm. It worked so good. And that created a little bit of like, all right, social acceptance, which is genuinely a very important thing if you can do it. We start meeting more and more companies that need fulfillment. Most of them had their products in spare bedrooms, garage, just sitting there, or they had them in bad warehousing places full of dust. Some of them were rough, but didn't care because beggars can't be choosers. We're brand new, we'll take anybody, and we're just bringing it all in. We were able to get an extra 9 new businesses to come join us and do fulfillment for them in what we called the Batcave, a 250 square meter place that was at the top of a ramp at the back end of a big lot of units. Didn't have any power, didn't have any ventilation, a big, huge, massive garage shed. We didn't really have any system built then, and we were still adding stuff in and having to just remember where everything was by memory. And we realized that if we wanted to work on scale, we had to work out a way to identify where everything was in the warehouse. And so we went to IKEA. And in IKEA, if you look at the warehouse, whoever was your engineer to put that all together, bloody brilliant. We thought the way that they had laid out their warehouse numbering, we're just going to utilize that. We didn't want to use letters and all these other things like some other management structures do. We place a zone, and then the zone has rows, and then we just found like just a straight up 6-digit format was sufficient, and to the races we went. So as the 9 businesses who we've built relationships with had started to bring their products into the warehouse, we started to work on more about sharing that as a portfolio on the website and started to share the information out so that people could see that, hey, we're good at what we do, please come talk to us. What I didn't realize is when we put those on, they started to get attention from other businesses to start asking, hey, how's Keyspace? Are they doing a good job? Like, do you want to come over with us? And so we brought that down. We don't have like a lot of money to reinvest in yet. We're making a little bit more than what we did in the first year of 2016. But in 2017, we put most of it into Australia Post and into shipping, and a little bit into getting some extra racking to get some higher space. That was probably the biggest thing we really did in that year, along with a lot of work on the software to try and add extra features that the businesses had been asking us about with integration and connections to their other sites. It was also in this year that the business Koala Box that I originally had got sold. That company in Sydney wanted to pretty much buy the boxes and the whole thing. So we closed that up, which then gave us complete and utter focus on just growing Keyspace. In the December month of 2017, we generated $10,000 from Keyspace in that month. That was a lot of money. And so I felt that maybe with a wife and child, we could push this and do it full time. So in the beginning of January 2018, we just really wanted to start pounding out even more videos on YouTube, content and businesses to keep growing that arrangement. February 2018, one of the businesses that joined us.
So hi, I'm Nathan. I run buttercoffee.com.au.
Butter Coffee. And Nathan was a good friend of ours who we'd met in the community groups. This one we met in the Amazon community group of all places. And Chris was a friend of mine who was doing videos. And so he helped us do our first testimonial videos to be able to get the content, make the testimonials that we aren't some shady business, we actually do pretty good. And that created new businesses to join Keyspace. And the financial numbers ended up looking like this. At June 30 of 2018, the revenue went to $116,800. The expenses was $122,800. So we still made a loss of $6,000 that financial year. Even though we made a loss, the revenue increase from the previous financial year was so much bigger. It was like, whoa, that's a huge jump. And so we thought, okay, we need to keep growing this and working on the sales. And if we keep building on the sales, then we have a position to be able to start really investing in the R&D and start making some really cool headway. And so that's what we started working on. You're going to hear more about that in the 2018 video. When you're in your early stages, don't try to bother building too many systems, because the systems don't really matter as much. So when you see bigger businesses talk about systems and practice and processes, they don't really matter, because at this, the business is so malleable and flexible that it can switch and swap and change. Like if you're going to get up to $100,000 in revenue, you technically could be as loose as a goose and you'd still make good money. And that legitimately is all you need. Because then the focus is just building the sales. Go from 10, 20, get to 100. And then from there, we can see what happened next year.